Social Security is an important piece of your retirement income, but there's a lot of information about it out there. Today we make sense of the mysteries and misconceptions of Social Security right now on Retiring Today. Welcome to Retiring Today. I'm here with Loren Merkle and Anna Marie Morrow. Anna Marie is the Director of Medicare at Merkle Retirement Planning, and Loren is a certified financial planner, a certified financial fiduciary, and a retirement income certified professional. You guys ever fancy yourselves as like detectives at all?
Ooh,
detectives?
Childhood dreams coming true.
Yeah, there you go.
Childhood dream. I think we should explore that a little bit more.
I didn't know that. Kind of crime scene investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, today we're having a little bit of fun with being detectives, right? We gotta have a little fun because we want to talk about Social Security. We want to break down the myths and misconceptions, but we also kind of want to have some fun putting together some visuals that kind of wink and nudge towards, Sherlock Holmes. Because, Loren, you've been helping people elect Social Security for over 20 years. You sit down with couples, and a lot of times they don't realize how many options they have when it comes to Social Security.
It's one of the biggest misconceptions or least known things about Social Security is just how many options you have when it comes to taking your Social Security benefits. If you're a married couple, you might have up to 81 different options when it comes time to elect your Social Security. So here's where we're gonna have the most fun today, right?
Okay.
Segment 1, we're gonna go through all 81 different options.
I think we need to look up the definition of fun before we tackle that. Yeah.
Let's go back to your childhood dream of detective work, searching through the covers for
Robert
macaroni
Downey
and cheese.
Jr., Sherlock Holmes, Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, she was a detective.
Yeah.
She is a detective in her own right. So 81 options. We're not really going to go through the 81 options. Hang on. But we are going to, I think, do a pretty good job of helping people understand some of the myths that are out there, make sure they know the truth about Social Security, and also help them understand how important this is for your retirement. Loren, you put this in numbers for people in the Journey to Retirement workshop, and you show them how powerful Social Security can be, and I think it's eye-opening sometimes.
It can be very eye-opening for a lot of people because many people are in different situations. For some people, Social Security represents 50, 60, 70% of their retirement income. For some people, it represents 10 to 15%, but for everybody, if you add up the monthly benefits that you're going to receive over the course of your 20 to 30 year retirement, for a married couple, it could equate to over $1 million portfolio. For a single individual, it could represent over $500,000 of a lifetime portfolio. So if you're starting your retirement and you have $1 million in your investments, you're a married couple, and you think about getting $1 million from your Social Security benefits alone, that goes a long way. Even if you have $5 million of investments when you retire, Social Security could represent 20% of your starting retirement portfolio. It's a big deal regardless of what kind of resources you have. And it's about you made this investment over the last 30 to 40 years, putting money into the Social Security system while you worked. And now that you're on the doorsteps of retirement or retired, it's about how do you get the most out of this investment that you've been making over the course of your working career. How do you get the most out of it?
And what's been interesting about that is when we meet with our families, they're like, oh, my sister-in-law or brother elected at this age, so that's the best age. They recommended we do that. But it's fun to put the pieces together of what their work history have been, what their benefit is going to be, and show them if they can make that $1 million over this time frame if we looked at this age, versus electing at this age when it was recommended by someone else that they do that. So it really does vary and is different with everybody.
That represents a big challenge with Social Security because it seems like everybody has an opinion about what you should do with Social Security, whether it's because their neighbor did something or their siblings did something or their coworkers, or you just read an article. And the article said you should always take your benefit as soon as you can because Social Security is going broke, you don't know how long you're going to live. Or you read another article and it says, well, you get an 8% increase from full retirement age all the way up to age 70 per year, so you should really delay as long as you can because people are living longer. And then you read or you try to go through this maze of information, and then at the end of the day, you're just like, okay, I'm going to make a decision here, not knowing if it is the right decision. And that's where doing the thorough planning, incorporating Social Security, but also everything else that you have at your disposal to provide you with a retirement lifestyle together, and then looking at that information, you can make the best decision for you based on that information, your information. You can make that decision with confidence.
Okay, so we want you to have the facts. So we're going to break down the misconceptions. We did some detective work. We're digging. We're finding the truth. That's what detectives do. They find the truth. That's what we want to do today. Okay, so a misconception out there is Social Security is going broke. Why isn't it true?
We get this. I actually got this comment just yesterday, and I think one of the things to consider is, back in, I think it was 1983 or 84, they did this major overhaul under that administration to make tweaks and changes to draw out the length of Social Security. But then also one thing to consider is we had a question come in not too long ago from our Journey to Retirement workshop. This gentleman let us know he was recently put on long-term disability, and Social Security disability was his only income. And his question was, do I still need to be paying FICA taxes? And he does. There's really not any exceptions to paying the FICA tax. And what that is the funding behind Social Security. So Social Security is always having money coming into that bucket. Whereas if we need to make changes like that overhaul in 83 in the 80s, then we can to make those monies last longer.
But what about those studies that we see every year, Anna Marie, that say Social Security, the reserves are going to be down by 2032 or 2034? And the most recent one actually pushed it out a year to 2035.
Yeah, that the surplus would run out.
The surplus, the reserves.
Yep.
So people see those studies, and then right now there's a lot of talk amongst politicians about what are you going to do with Social Security, what are you not going to do with Social Security. So it gets people thinking, and it makes sense, because if you're looking at your Social Security benefit, you're saying, I paid into this all these years, I want to get the most out of it, but yet people are talking about taking it away or decreasing it. That can definitely elevate concern and anxiety. So now it's a matter, let's weed through those myths and determine what really could happen with Social Security.
Yeah, so what could happen is, if they do nothing in 2035, they'll only be able to pay about 80% of the benefits out. But most likely, what I think a lot of people would agree on is that Congress will make some changes. Either you'll have to elect later, they'll increase the FICA taxes, they'll have the wealthier pay more, again, depending on your politics and where you land on that. Probably Congress will eventually make some changes, but for the short term, Social Security is not broke.
Social Security is not broke, and I think for those of you who are within a few years of being able to take Social Security or already on Social Security, I think you're in a good place as far as continuing to receive the promised benefits. Since 1935, when Social Security legislation was enacted, there have been changes to Social Security. Going back to the early 80s, when the reserves was actually down to zero, then they had to make changes to shore up the Social Security Reserve Fund. They have consistently made changes. They will consistently continue to make changes to make sure that those benefits are continued promised, with, I think, this is my opinion, could be one exception. One of the things that they're talking about, which I think could work its way into it, is the means testing, which means that based on the level of income you have, they could decrease the amount of Social Security benefits that you would receive. Now, those income thresholds, most of the income thresholds that they've thrown out there are much higher income thresholds and probably will not impact most retirees. But I think that is probably one of the exceptions to your benefits are probably not going to be touched if you're close to taking them or already on them, because there's so many different changes they can make. They can and will make changes to the benefits that we can receive. They will and can make changes to the benefits that our kids can receive. And we have time to make adjustments to our plan. Certainly our kids, my 10-year-old daughter has time to make changes to her retirement plan. So they can shore up that fund in so many different ways that doesn't impact pre-retirees and retirees. And from a political standpoint, it's going to be much easier to pass that type of legislation as opposed to taking away your benefits or seriously decreasing your benefit.
We've only been chatting for 8 minutes and we've already learned a lot about Social Security. Basically, there are a lot of decisions. So what if you had 15 minutes to talk directly with a retirement planner about your Social Security options? What's best for you? Here is a great opportunity. It's a 15-minute retirement checkup call. This is a complimentary call you can schedule right now by going to the website that you see on your screen. We've got more Social Security myths and misconceptions to talk about next.
Anytime I have even the smallest question about my accounts or what effect the latest tax law might have on my situation, the Merkle Retirement Planning team is always there and quick to help. I'm so glad they treat you like family. I'm so happy to have such an excellent team working for my future, and ensuring I do the best to achieve my financial goals.
Merkle Retirement Planning. Your retirement starts here.
This is Retiring Today. I'm here with Loren Merkle and Anna Marie Morrow, and we're kind of sort of playing detective, sort of channeling our inner Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, trying to bust some Social Security myths and misconceptions. So let's get right to it, because Anna Marie, you were on a 15-minute retirement checkup call the other day, and you just heard this misconception, and here it is, that your benefit is based on wages earned before the age 65.
Yeah, we had this phone call come in, and she was wondering, they were getting ready to elect their Social Security, and they were working long past age 65. So they get online, they check their benefit, and it's significantly more than what they anticipated. I mean, they weren't mad about it.
It's great
but
news,
it's
yeah.
like, what's happening? Bank error in my favor? What's going on? Well, their misconception was that it was just based on earnings up until age 65. That's it. Well, that's not the case. If you continue to work beyond the age of 65, what happens, Social Security just picks your 35 highest earning years, and that can go beyond age 65, and they put that together to calculate your benefit. It's not 35 consecutive years, it's the highest, even if you work until age 72.
Is there ever a time where maybe people took a few years out of the workforce, you look at that and they have maybe 34 years, and so you talk about, again, as you're looking at all of these options and strategies, maybe working one more year to increase that Social Security?
Yeah, and that's part of the evaluation that we make on an individual basis, because it's not uncommon for people to not work consecutively for 35 years. For a lot of stay-at-home moms, my mom stayed at home for many years while the four of us were growing up, and then she got into the workforce. And so what they do is, it's still the top 35 wage earning years, but if you have earned wages for, let's call it 25, that means you have 10 zeros. So if you continue to work an extra year, 2, 3, 4, then that will increase what you're going to receive from a Social Security benefit standpoint. And part of our evaluation is to say, what if? What if you only have 7 zeros instead of 10? What if you have zeros instead of 1? How does that impact your Social Security? And based on that information, then you can accurately evaluate, is it worth it? Is it worth it for you to work a couple more years, increase your Social Security, or does it not make that big of a difference for you and you'd rather have a few extra years earlier in retirement?
All right, good work, detectives. Our next myth we need to investigate is, I have to start claiming Social Security benefits at age 62.
Busted. It's as easy as that, right?
Yeah, done.
You say elementary, my dear Watson.
Yeah, well, that's my big line. Just wait, I'm waiting for you to say something really smart, though,
Really
so that's
smart.
got to happen first.
Busted didn't cover it?
No, busted was not I'm waiting on my big line, so say something smart.
You are first eligible to take your Social Security benefits at age 62. That does not mean you're mandated to take Social Security benefits at age 62. You can actually elect them anywhere between age 62 all the way up until age 70. And in fact, for many of you, because you're still working and making over the earned income limit, which is somewhere around $19,000 a year right now, it means you would not want to take your Social Security benefits, because then you would lose $1 for every $2 you make over the earned income limit.
And something to bring up as we're talking about the earnings limit, this is something we see a lot, is people have elected their Social Security benefit and then they do decide to go back to work for whatever reason before they hit full retirement age. And then we get these phone calls of, my benefit's dropping, what do I do? Not a lot of people know that once you hit your full retirement age, your benefit will actually increase so you can recoup the money that was deducted during your earnings years. So they just take that into effect, see that increase, you will recoup that money back.
Okay, she sounded really smart there, so here it is. Elementary, my dear Watson. Let's look at another myth we've got here. If you elect Social Security, you have to elect Medicare. You are the Medicare director here at Merkle Retirement Planning. You are on this myth and you're ready to break it down.
No.
Good, that was a good start. No, you don't have to.
Yeah, there's a lot of fine print. If you do elect your Social Security before the age of 65, they will automatically enroll you in Medicare when you turn 65. They're making the assumption that you're retired, no longer working, so you need health coverage. But if you elect a Social Security benefit at age 65, but you're gonna still work, then you do not have to elect Medicare at the same time. They can work independently of one another. You can elect Medicare at age 65 and elect Social Security, your Social Security benefit later on also.
Okay, let's keep investigating this Medicare thing, because this brings me to another mystery that we need to solve. And it's the mystery of Social Security and Medicare. And here's the misconception, that if my Social Security benefit increases, the Medicare premium will increase.
Oh, didn't we see that in 2022, right? In the end of 2021, we hear about this large COLA increase, and then we had the largest increase to the Medicare Part B
Yeah,
premium.
it was disheartening because cost of living was going up, so people got some more Social Security. Helpful in some ways, and then Medicare premiums, boom.
Boom, yeah, so it makes sense, right? Well, then what happened? At the end of 22, we get news about another large COLA, and so again, here comes my Medicare premium shooting through the roof. Well, actually what happens, they again work independently of one another. So in 2021, there was this new Alzheimer's drug introduced. Medicare Part B covers medications given within a hospital or clinic. And this new medication was deemed to be very expensive, covered under Part B. So that's why we saw that huge increase. And then during the year of 2022, it turned out that medication was not as expensive as anticipated. So that's why we saw that $5 decrease to the Medicare Part B premium heading into 2023, even though the COLA shot through the roof. So there are different factors that go into that Medicare Part B premium separate from the Social Security COLA.
When they announced the 2023, what people are going to receive from an increase from 2023 in their Social Security, we're happy, right? 8.7, we haven't seen that since the 80s. And then we announced it to the families that we work with, and they're like, well, wait a minute. So wait till the Medicare increase comes into play. So, I mean, $5 reduction on Medicare premiums isn't going to change the world for a lot of people, but it's something, and at least it didn't increase, especially after the big increase that we saw in 2022.
And what's interesting about this conversation too is you're the Medicare director, you're a retirement planner, you work together too. I know you guys have a lot of conversations about Social Security and Medicare, but the other conversations you're having and you're exchanging is when you're talking about building plans for families is let's look at their taxable situation. Let's also look at what their legacy plan is. And we talk about how you shouldn't make the Social Security decision kind of in one lane. You have to look at all of the lanes around you. And that's kind of a hard concept to
It's hard,
understand.
and I think we're conditioned to think about Social Security by itself because all the articles that you read are always talking about only your Social Security, take it early or delay, whereas really what influences your Social Security decision is all of the other factors of what are you going to do from a tax planning standpoint, what other income sources do you have coming in, should you delay, should you take early, your life expectancy, family history, all of this stuff goes into whether or not you should take your benefits early or later or what combination strategy you should use. But it's tempting because that's, I think, how we've been conditioned, but there's so much more that goes into it. And I think we would do ourselves a better service by taking into consideration everything. And you're going to feel a lot better knowing that you've made the most out of your Social Security benefit based on all the other factors involved in your plan.
Okay, so what does Loren mean by everything? Well, he means a lot of the decisions that you'll have to make as you move to and through retirement. So to get a better picture of the everything he's talking about, go to our Journey to Retirement workshop. This is going to be a great opportunity for you to see all of the decisions, see them all play out for a couple, see the couple make these decisions. It's an online Journey to Retirement workshop. The information is on your screen. The website is retirewithmerkle.com. You'll go there, you can choose a time and date that works for you and see how a comprehensive retirement plan is built. But you'll want to know about some more Social Security myths and misconceptions. We've got them next.
Do I have enough saved for retirement? When should I take Social Security? Which Medicare option is best? How do I plan for inflation? Sometimes the road to retirement starts with more questions than answers. We're here to help. Join us for our upcoming Journey to Retirement workshop. Get answers and start your retirement journey with confidence. Our online workshop includes information on Secure Act 2.0 and changing retirement rules. Visit retirewithmerkle.com to register for an upcoming workshop. Your retirement journey starts now.
The Merkle Retirement Planning Team provides personable and professional expertise unrivaled in this area. They include us in every step of the planning process. The peace of mind provided to us by the Merkle team allows us to fully enjoy this special time of our lives. Instead of feeling snakebit, we feel confident that with the Merkle Retirement Planning Team at our sides, we can navigate any challenge that comes our way.
Merkle Retirement Planning. Your retirement starts here.
This is Retiring Today, and we are doing some detective work when it comes to Social Security myths and misconceptions. Guys, time to break this case wide open.
Wide open.
Ready,
Time to do it.
detectives? Okay, our last myth that we want to talk about. I won't pay taxes on Social Security.
Yeah, and that could be a myth for some and a reality for others. It's the way it works is that if you're single and your provisional income is above $25,000 for the year, then at least some level of your Social Security benefits is going to be subject to federal tax. If you're married, that number's not $25,000, it's $32,000, in which some level of your Social Security benefits is going to be subject to federal tax. Now, many states, including the state of Iowa, you do not have to pay state tax on your Social Security benefits, but from a federal standpoint, there are many of you out there who are going to pay at least some federal tax on your benefits.
Okay, there, Dr. Watson, I got to back up just a little. You said provisional income. What's that
I knew
mean?
you were going to catch me on that one. Provisional income is a very technical term, and essentially what it is
I need my notebook, I think, for this one.
take 50% of what your Social Security income is, add that on top of all your other taxable income, and that is the number that is gauged against the $25,000 and $32,000 number. Does that make more sense?
Piece of cake. The Social Security stuff, piece of cake.
Basically, not up to 100% of your Social Security can be taxed, up to 85% of your income can be taxed.
And here's the good news. You guys know the rules. You guys know the rules about Social Security, so let's say I was getting ready to retire. You will help me understand the rules. That's what I like about working with somebody who knows all the rules. You don't necessarily have to understand them.
Yeah, and that's why we were talking before about how tax planning can really come into your Social Security decision, because if you can put yourself in a position where your Social Security income is taxed to less or not even at all throughout the later courses of your retirement, what a powerful income strategy and tax planning strategy that can become.
And strategy is what it's all about when it comes to retirement planning. So I talked a little bit about John and Sue. John and Sue are near and dear to all of our hearts here at Merkle Retirement Planning, because John and Sue go on a journey to retirement. And it's a really exciting journey. They have to make a lot of decisions. And the cool thing is their retirement plan, Loren, it essentially puts more money in their pocket at the end of the day.
It sure does. And that's one of the things I really like about the online Journey to Retirement workshop is we take you through the retirement of a hypothetical couple, John and Sue. And we show you strategies that they put into their overall plan to help save them money, to make sure that they can accomplish their goals. And that's what I'm going to demonstrate right now on the board is one of the examples through John and Sue and how they can save money from an overall Social Security standpoint and what kind of decisions they have available to them when it comes time to elect their Social Security decisions. So in this example, and this is an abbreviated version, we give you much more detail in the online Journey to Retirement workshop. In this example, we're saying John and Sue, they're both going to take their Social Security benefits at the age of 65. John's Social Security income is going to be about $2,300 a month, and Sue's Social Security income is going to be about $1,150 a month. And you can see the parentheses down below. Sue's Social Security income, her own income is going to be about $920, and then she receives a spousal benefit. We'll get into more detail and explain that in the online Journey to Retirement workshop. But for right now, she's going to receive about $1,150 a month. So if we add up those monthly payments over the course of their projected lifetime, and we're just using average life expectancy, that would equate to a lifetime Social Security benefit for John and Sue of about $950,000. Now, you already know that John and Sue had up to 81 different options. This is just one of those 81 different options. So what if they chose a different option? And that's what we're showing in this case. We're saying Sue takes her Social Security benefit at her full retirement age, which in this case is age 66 and a half. And when she takes her benefit, she'll receive $1,000 a month. John is going to wait, and he's going to maximize his benefit. He's going to wait all the way up until his age 70 to take his benefit. His benefit at age 70 is going to be about $3,250 a month. And when John takes his benefit at his age 70, Sue is eligible for a spousal benefit. So an extra $250 is added onto Sue's $1,000, equating to $1,250 a month. So if we add up over the course of their projected retirement, the monthly income they receive from that combination Social Security strategy, it will equate to over $1 million. So as John and Sue are trying to determine what is going to be the best Social Security decision for them, this is part of the information that they can use to help evaluate that decision. And part of their evaluation is saying, what if we both take it to 65? Over the lifetime, we'll receive about $944,000. Or if we implement the combination strategy where John waits till 70, Sue takes it to full retirement age, and they could receive over $1 million, that goes into that decision. How about an extra $80,000 of Social Security income over the course of your retirement lifetime? Now, I know what you're thinking. What if you're not married? What if you're single? So in this case, we're saying John is single. He can elect his benefits at age 63. His benefit would be about $2,300 a month. We add that up over the course of his lifetime, just under $500,000 of lifetime total benefit. What if he waits until 68? He would receive about $515,000 a month, or around $20,000 of lifetime benefit. John compares those two options and saying about a $20,000 difference. That would go into John's decision of when he should take it, 63, 68, full retirement age, or what if he waits all the way up until age 70? How does that impact his overall income from Social Security? And then we throw in all the other stuff that John has, like his pension and investable assets, that will influence that decision as well. But this is a great starting point to see how can John and Sue and then John maximize their benefits.
And that's just one of the powerful strategies that you'll learn about in the online Journey to Retirement workshop. Check out your screen right now. The website is retirewithmerkle.com. The QR code is right there. You can grab your phone, open up your camera, and be taken directly to a website. Well, you will choose a time and a date that works for you. Once we get you signed up, then you're going to receive a Journey to Retirement kit. There'll be a workbook in there. You can open up the workbook, follow along with the Journey to Retirement workshop, and take some notes and learn a lot about your journey to retirement. It's a great opportunity for you to learn about retirement. This TV show is also a great opportunity to learn about retirement, and we thank you for watching.
Do I have enough saved for retirement? When should I take Social Security? Which Medicare option is best? How do I plan for inflation? Sometimes the road to retirement starts with more questions than answers. We're here to help. Join us for our upcoming Journey to Retirement workshop. Get answers and start your retirement journey with confidence. Our online workshop includes information on Secure Act 2.0 and changing retirement rules. Visit retirewithmerkle.com to register for an upcoming workshop. Your retirement journey starts now.